Honda has just announced their limited edition Type R designed for track use, and I've got some notes. I'm Tedward. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, but this is a topic near and dear to my heart because my closest friend Eddie drives a Civic Type R on the track all the time for time trials, and I've seen the struggles that come along with tracking that car, namely heat. So naturally, when I see Honda coming out with a track-focused car, I assume they've solved all the heat problems and that it will no longer pull power after a couple of hot laps on the track. But no, let's talk about what Honda has done. So the good, weight savings. For the US market, they've pulled out 69 pounds. Now that's great. Lighter car, always better. How have they done it? Well, first, they removed the rear wiper. Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. It's a track car. We don't need that. And second, the big thing has been sound deadening. So they've taken away sound deadening from the dashboard, the roof, and the spare tire compartment, as well as the compartment cover, the tonneau cover. So now you can't really hide anything in the back of the car either. They've also removed the heating ducts for the rear seats, and they probably should have just removed the rear seats altogether if they were really looking to save weight, but that's something that you could do in your spare time. At least they've given you the seats to use, but your passengers will be cold. Removing sound deadening is a great idea for weight savings, and it's something that you would have done if you were stripping your car for the track anyway, but it's something you might have done for a car that was really exciting to listen to. Like Porsche removed sound deadening on the 911R so you could hear every little bit of chatter from the drivetrain and the clutch and the transmission and all this stuff, but not exactly a sound I want to be listening to in a Civic Type R. The car doesn't sound great to begin with. There are some who really like it, but for me, it's kind of just a droney 4-cylinder turbo, and it's not something I need to hear. Next, they pulled weight from the wheels. They've taken 18 pounds off of these forged BBS wheels, which sounds fantastic, except for the fact that Honda still has not listened to any of the people who are actually tracking their cars and maintained a 20-inch setup all around. That's crazy. Everybody who goes to the track with these cars has downsized to at least an 18-inch wheel. They fit over the brakes, they work great, they're lighter, and it gives you way more opportunity for tire selection. And guess what? You want a little bit of sidewall on those tires. Anyone who's run the 20-inch stock tires on the track pretty much can't tell what kind of tires came on the car anymore because they've rolled over the sidewall and erased all of the embossing. So by my math, that adds up to 46 pounds, 18 pounds from the wheels and 28 pounds from the body. Where is the other 23 pounds making up the 69 pound weight savings on the limited edition? I don't know, Honda hasn't said it. In Europe, they save over 100 pounds because they also pull the air conditioning and the infotainment system, which is great, except for the fact that all the new 2020 and above Civic Type Rs come with a new kind of like telemetry track data system. So if you were to pull the infotainment system, you would lose that. Now, if you were just trying to save weight, you'd lose it anyway because you're not going to use Honda's telemetry system. You'd probably use something more advanced, or at least just Harry's lap timer, pretty much what's in everybody's car on the track anyway. But the strangest thing about the Civic Type R limited edition is that it retains the safety sensing systems, which means it's going to have adaptive cruise control and automatic braking. Now, I don't know about you, but there's some clubs that I've gone and raced with that don't allow any type of automatic braking systems because they're unpredictable and they can be dangerous on track. Imagine you are running into a corner, deep into a braking zone, and you've got traffic ahead of you. That automatic braking zone might start braking on you and actually upset the car and cause accidents. I mean, someone behind you might be right up on your tail and suddenly your car is automatically braking early. That's not good. So unless there's a very easy way to disconnect that fully and it's clear that it's disconnected, that could be really dangerous. And in fact, you might just not be allowed to drive this car at certain events. Honda says they've retuned the shocks and recalibrated the steering, which I'm sure is great, but what have they retuned it for? If they've retuned it for the Nürburgring, which it sounds like they might be just going after the Megane RS with this car, because if they haven't touched the cooling system, the Nürburgring is really the only track that you might be able to get away with that because you're always moving. It's like a shark. You've got lots of airflow because there's very few slow sections of that track. You're always able to kind of cool your car. And that's great. I'm glad. It should be retuned. It should be better. And the steering should be more positive, but it just still seems to me insane that they're sticking with this 20-inch wheel setup. They're not listening to the people who are actually tracking the cars. And other than that, there's just some aesthetic changes. Now, we were getting excited seeing spy shots of these cars going around in the past months, that they were gonna put carbon fiber roofs on these cars, try to pull some weight out of the top of the car. Nope, it's black paint. They're gonna do black paint on the roof, they're gonna do black mirror caps, and the cars only come in Phoenix yellow. I have no problem with that. Everyone I've talked to hates yellow. I kind of like it because I love the Integra Type R in yellow, but it's a Type R, which means it's gonna have the red lipstick on the wheels, it's gonna have red calipers and the red interior, so it's gonna be a little bit of a McDonald's spec. I hope you like fries with that. But if it's parked next to your Integra Type R in your garage, maybe it will look pretty good. But then again, I don't think this is gonna be an appreciating asset. So if you're buying this car just to sit next to your low mileage Type R Integra, you're just fooling yourself. Most cars are not investments, and there's going to be 600 of these. That's not a small number, and they're probably gonna mark them up quite a bit. Now, we don't know the pricing from Honda. We should assume somewhere in the ballpark of $7,000 on top of the standard car. But don't forget, Honda dealers were marking up the Civic Type Rs in 2017 like crazy, and this would probably be no different. I'm sure you're gonna have to pay a premium on top of the, let's assume, $7,000 from Honda, and then you might have to pay more. So don't be fooled that this is the answer to your track problems if you were considering a Civic Type R. So for my money, I would not buy this limited edition Type R. I'd go find myself a used Type R and I'd start solving the problems that actually exist on track. I'd solve the cooling problems with an oil cooler, open up that front grille if it's pre-2020, throw a better intercooler on the car, maybe even a radiator. Then go ahead and get yourself a nice set of lightweight 18-inch wheels, wrap them in a Nankang or an RE71R, and if you want to go crazy, put some aero in the car, a front splitter, some duct work out the back, and a spoiler, and you're good to go. The car will handle and rock your world. And unfortunately, Honda didn't listen to the hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been tracking their cars and having overheating issues. And it just blows my mind that they have the nerve to come out with a limited edition track focus car that is poised to be, I think they want it to be the fastest front wheel drive car on the Nürburgring. That's great, but you're gonna come at us and tell us that you've made a faster car. It's gonna run into the same problems, and now you have to listen to all this extra drone in the back, and your rear passengers on the street don't get heat. Frustrating. So if you're frustrated with Honda, if you're a fanboy and this just isn't what you were looking for, let me know below. If you're gonna buy one, let me know why are you gonna buy it? Is it just because you wanted a yellow car? I understand that. Yellow is pretty hot. I was kind of hoping that they were gonna come out with yellow Type R to begin with, but now you have to do one of these. But I'm certainly not gonna pay $10,000 to $15,000 more than the standard Type R just to get it. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.